Hey everybody, this is Brittany here from Surfing Waves of Light, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about alternative healing, specifically medical medium healing. I'm here to talk a little bit about my experiences with medical medium healing, what I've learned through my healing journey and through exploring his practices, what I know from being an RN in the emergency room. Um, and I just want to say that this video is for educational purposes only, and that you should always check with a healing practitioner, your doctor, or whoever you go to before you do anything. So just hear me with an open mind. All right, so I wanted to talk about medical medium because there's a lot of things that is really different about healing with medical medium as opposed to healing with allopathic or Western medicine. So, one thing that's really great about medical medium is if you've tried allopathic medicine, Western medicine, if you've gone down that route for a long time, if you've had a chronic illness, that you have thanks, James. If you have a chronic illness, that you have explored all the options, you've seen the neurologist, you've seen your physician, you've seen all the experts, you've gotten multiple scans, and you're kind of stuck and you don't really know where to go. Medical medium healing is a great option, and it's something that everyone can do. So everyone can start buying and eating more fruits and vegetables. It's really, really simple. It's really basic in its ideology. Not that it has an ideology, but it's just basic in its practice. Everything that medical medium brings in, it's pretty obvious. It's things that grow on the earth. It's fruits, it's vegetables. It comes from trees and plants. And not to say that you can't have, chemicals. There are certain kinds of food in our country that are sprayed with chemicals, and that is what it is. But we can seek out our local farmers and seek out organic or certified naturally grown produce. So I just want to say that medical medium healing is something that anyone can do. So that's empowering because that takes a lot of actions that we rely on for traditional practitioners, and it brings that power back into our own hands. And this time in Earth's history is all about empowerment. It's about freedom, it's about clarity, getting into alignment with your higher being, and eating fruits and vegetables from an energetic perspective. You're eating life, you're eating light, you're getting information. Light has information. And so it may seem really basic to eat fruits and vegetables and decrease the amount of fat that you intake, but it's a huge part of healing. And it can really help to accelerate your healing with any kinds of healing that you're doing. So if you're doing Western healing, or if you have some sort of other practitioner, it can help, accentuate that. Always check with your doctor or practitioner, but it's pretty safe. It's fruits and vegetables, and he sometimes offers supplements, which are optional. You don't have to do that, but if you want to add, another tool to your toolkit, then supplements would be the way to go too. So the other thing about medical medium is you really need to learn and apply his information at your own pace. Um, I come from a Italian family. Food is super important in my family, and we have a lot of tradition around it. My dad recently passed, and he loved to cook, and he loved to make me eggs. And you'll find out that eggs are one thing that medical medium does not recommend for people that are trying to get their chronic illnesses under control. So it's like you have to really just go at your own pace and bring in the tools. His big thing is to bring in tools that are going to work for you, and then, keep the things that you love, remain in your life. You don't need to throw everything out right away. Most diets are like, oh, stop everything all of a sudden. And yeah, when you do cleansing, in a way you do that, but he doesn't say to stop everything all of a sudden. He's all about easing in. And when it comes to studying the mind typically doesn't change overnight unless there's some sort of like incredible experience. So typically, if we really want to make changes that we can maintain and hold on to for a long time, the way to do that is slowly. So I really encourage you to apply his information at your own pace and don't get overwhelmed because there's so much information. Medical Medium has put out 6 books now, and so he has his own philosophy on healing, and you need to follow what philosophy aligns with you. But there's a lot of comparison to other kinds of healing that we all need to learn about now. And so, coming up here soon, I'm going to be doing a blog and a video on medical medium on diabetes, medical medium on mystery high blood pressure, medical medium on zinc shock therapy. Always can go right to the source. Medical medium has tons of stuff, but these are some tools that I have found to be super helpful. The zinc shock therapy, the celery juice, the all that stuff. But basically, what I want you to know about today is that there is so much to know, and to just go slow. All right. Um, yeah, when I worked in the ER, I was seeing a lot of chronic illness. A lot of people come to the ER with chronic illness flare ups. And so I got a really great opportunity to really see what it was like to have different stages of these different chronic illnesses that are out there now. Thyroidism, hypo. You have like MS, you have ALS, you have diabetes, high blood pressure, AFib. I mean, you name it. A lot of people are walking around on our planet right now having some sort of diagnosis, and a lot of people are walking around taking a pill, and that's great, and everyone is exactly where they're supposed to be. But who really knows the cause of these illnesses? And we don't really know the cause. If you ask someone what is causing their high blood pressure, they may be able to say to you, oh, it's because of my salt intake, or because of my caffeine, or I'm really stressed. But there's never one very definitive thing, and it can be so different from person to person. So it's just something to consider and think about. Yeah, all beings must take any information prescribed by a doctor or by someone like me or any practitioner, and you need to run it through your own guidance system. So, one of the things that medical medium and really a lot of alternative healers encourage you to do is to get in tune with your own guidance, get in touch with your feeling self. So, getting in tune with your feeling self requires a lot of different steps. Meditation is a great way, and that is part of medical medium healing. He has tons of meditations, and I don't typically do his meditations, but I have a strong meditative practice, and I have conscious contact with my guides. And through that contact, I'm able to navigate life so much more easily. And when things come up for healing, I get like mystery rashes on my chest. And that's one of the reasons I use medical medium healing, because it's one of the only things that helps me to get rid of my rash. Now I'm post Thanksgiving, and I had a great time, and I ate a lot of turkey, and so sometimes things flare up, and it's no big deal. I don't have anything that like debilitates me, but it's just great to know that I can get back on track. I can control when my acne flares up, when I get the Raynaud's in my fingers when I want to go surfing. So it's like I have the power, at least if I want to. Not saying that I always want to. I love food, and like I said, it's a huge part of my family and culture, but just something to consider. There's a different kind of relationship that is maintained when you use some alternative healers. And not to say that doctors don't do this too, because I'm sure I know some amazing physicians. But, whereas typically the doctor-patient relationship is like the doctor is up here and the patient is kind of like listening to the doctor down here. When you heal with medical medium or an alternative healer or someone like myself, it's a partnership. I offer you tools. Medical medium offers you tools. Healers, we offer different tools, and you need to figure out what resonates with you. Some people work in the energy, and some people work in the physical, and everyone has to work in the mind, but working in other areas can help us do better with our minds, or it can help us get to a place where we can really work with our minds. So everyone's at different places, and so that's what's great about this partnership is you just have someone else on your team who's there to listen to you and help you and navigate how you want to go about your life with a chronic illness. Or like my dad received a terminal diagnosis. When given 2 years to live or 18 months to live, how do you want to go forward? Having someone there to help you navigate how much do you want to invest in healing, and how much do you want to invest in your quality of life, and how can we do both at the same time, or how can we improve your quality of life? My dad loved food, and so medical medium healing was not his probably preferred or go to. And we did all kinds of different things, but it was still great. And we still applied some things, and it didn't kill his quality of life. It actually improved his quality of life. And we didn't do things for years. We did, cleanses, and that was times when we really hunkered down and focused. And then we lived our lives, and it was really a beautiful journey. Of course, it's hard when you know that your dad may pass, but it really was a beautiful journey. So that's the other thing. You get this really beautiful journey when you start to look into the alternative healing. It's more than pills, and it's more than going to the doctors. And sometimes that's wonderful. It's being in nature. It's eating healing foods. It's finding your joy and getting clear on your emotional, mental, and spiritual traumas, and connecting with your higher and better self. So it's very exciting. And yeah, I highly recommend it. That's what I've been choosing. Um, yeah, and I, not that medical medium says this implicitly, although he does refer to a lot of things. He kind of hints at a lot of things. I find that medical medium healing and alternative healing can often allow people to take back the reins, really get in control. And I talked about this a little bit before, but I really want to expand on this. You can get ahead of what's going on. You're not at the 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 fate of the disease as it's played out in other humans before you. Now you have a different set of tools and a different set of ideas that can allow you to expand your mind and believe that there is another way to heal. And so that's another thing that you come up with a lot in Western medicine is terminal diseases, incurable diseases, conditions that you're going to suffer with for your whole life. Well, what if that wasn't true? And we don't have to say, like, I'm not going to tell you that anything is curative, because each being has their own life path. But what I will say is that anything can be healed. It just is up to that person. Not saying that everyone is going to heal through life, but everything can be healed, because ultimately the end of the journey is healing and is love. And all this stuff is just to help us navigate while we're down here in this 3D earth plane. So yeah, so if you start to adopt medical medium practices before you're really sick, you can just get ahead of all this stuff. You can implement a few tools and then go out at night and have your pizza and, do whatever you want, and you can still remain healthy. You can serve your liver, and you can serve your pancreas, and you can serve your adrenal glands, all these really precious organs that are working for you to keep your body alive while your eternal spiritual nature is in it. It's like a car. Our bodies are like cars. And so if you put the wrong oil or wrong fuel in your car and then you expect it to run, it's just pure insanity. And so that's kind of the same thing with what we eat and the energy that we intake. So we just have to become really conscious of the energy we intake. So yeah, so that was just a quick video, hopefully 15 minutes, pretty quick, on medical medium healing. Like I said before, I'm going to be doing some blogs and videos on zinc shock therapy, on diabetes, on mystery high blood pressure. And I'm also going to be putting out 2 classes probably in January. One is going to be called Cleansing 101, and it's going to be a class where you can learn about how to prepare for a cleanse, what is involved in certain cleanses. The Medical Medium 369 cleanse will be featured in this, and how to post cleanse. So that's going to be a great class and really helpful if you're interested in cleansing. And then I'm also going to be putting on a class called Medical Medium for Beginners. This class is going to be for anyone who wants to get down and dirty into the tools of medical medium. This class will feature lemon water, celery juice, liver rescue smoothie, heavy metal detox smoothie, zinc shock therapy, all the tools that you want to have in your toolkit in case you feel sick. You have that zinc on hand, start to get your scratchy throat, you just put a little zinc in your throat, and really, like, I don't get sore throats anymore. I mean, I don't get like full on throat issues. I just get a little sore throat, do some zinc shock therapy. It's amazing. I haven't had an antibiotic in years, and I used to be on them all the time. So The other thing that I'm going to be doing is a cleanse in January, and this cleanse is going to go from January 8th to January 16th, I believe. So if you want to do a Medical Medium 369 cleanse with me, it's super fun. We do a group. I have a nightly meeting. We do nightly meditations. We connect on what it's like to be eating like this. And yeah, so it's going to be great. A lot of exciting things coming up. Appreciate if you've watched this live up until this point. I love you all so much, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.